Midnight in Aisle 7 is about relationships. It's about a journey. It's people who have went through the dark places in life and found that there is a peace in the midst of the pain. That in spite of the tragedy, that it can become a great asset to give their life meaning and definition. Even though I grew up in church, when I got older, I quit going. I didn't want to go. I felt like it was just an empty place that I went on Sunday, but there was nothing there that had meaning. There was no solutions. There was no answers. It was just a facade. It was just something fake. And I felt even that way about not just church and religion, but in the people who went there. I felt that way about God. Where was God in the midst of my struggle? Why does He not seem to intervene in my life? Why does He not seem to care about what I'm going through? Where has He been? I hear how much that He cares about me and cares about the world, but I've never felt more isolated. I never felt more alone. And maybe that's why I ran away. Maybe that's why the last place I wanted to be was near anybody who was a Christian or who went to church. Maybe that's why the very word of somebody, the very word religion, or the very word about God in many ways stirred up an anger within me. Religion left me so empty. It seemed that I couldn't find the answers there. It seemed that I came up at zero. There was a point in my life when I decided life was no longer worth living. I decided to end it all. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know where to turn. It seemed that the dead end was my destination. And then through the most unlikely way, my life made a complete turnaround. There was an encounter that completely turned me inside out. And I went from a 21-year-old student who was on the verge of ending my life to realizing there was so much more. I wrote this book for people that feel like God doesn't even know their zip code, let alone the problems that they're going through. It's for people that it seems that everything else they've tried and they've failed. They've come up empty. This book is about teenagers who are suicidal, about marriages that have crumbled because someone's spouse was unfaithful, about a woman who had to resort to prostitution because her whole life was stripped away from her. Aisle 7 is a way for people to find hope. It's a way for people to give hope. It's a way for people to understand that they're not alone, that the things that have happened in their life are not just coincidence, that everything's not random, that through all of this difficulty, that through all of these quicksands that they've stepped in life, that God wants to use those things to help them become who they were meant to be. Midnight in Aisle 7 is about discovering you.